get back to working. Okay. Oh, that's my friends. I mean,
Is your friend?
yeah, they have a band, bro. I am doing this thing here. Like most of my friends have some band somewhere. Not most, like some of my friends who were music into back then. Bro, do you what? Yeah, so Ajay. So I was.
Is it started?
It's already started. We'll have to speak something now.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So what I was wanting to discuss was that, see, this research gets, I mean, considering how technology is moving forward by leaps and bounds, things are pretty dynamic, right? Because see,
And
when
faster.
yeah,
Because
when
more tools are there, more resources are there.
yeah, so when I joined here in 2020, there wasn't ChatGPT, and we took maybe some few weeks or days to weeks to solve some errors. I'm not like hyping this, but this was how it used to be. Now it's like you just solve that in
Yeah, exactly.
just seconds or minutes, right? Uh, so this is one side of it, and the other side of it is this is that there are lots of people who started the research in 2020, and this PhD program is a 5-year
5-year
program,
program.
right? And by the time they complete their PhD, like 5 years is a long time. It's a very long time, and by that time things would have changed like anything, right? The technology would have changed by anything. Uh, see, when I joined here, if someone maybe wrote a small machine learning algorithm, like there have been theses of people who did simple ANN for hydrological modeling, or people I mean the people who did downscaling perhaps. Now since good resolution data is available, we don't think about that, right? So lots of work has got outdated, kind of like people use some algorithms to find this relationship between data sets. So now that people are more empowered, and the basic information of people have improved, so they are able to understand that okay, these work have lesser significance, right? Uh, so and on the other side, students from computer science department or departments where
Heading
advancements are
towards,
faster, they go for conferences. Like if I think about an idea, I just go for a conference, I share my information, and then the publication also might be a bit faster compared to our mainstream. I mean the type of research that we do. So I mean how do we look into how should we look into this?
First, if you look, like in initially you started that if we look for one problem which is very novel, because the PhD students supposed to contribute in research. Then if you look, like you mentioned, in 2021, ANN or machine learning was a state of the art idea. If you do something, you write paper, then it's a big novelty there. First thing is there, but if you do now, it's not a contribution already there. So first, if you look, PhD program as a contribution to research, I think it's not like a good idea to judge a PhD that what is the contribution of research. If you consider PhD as a training for a researcher, then it should be good that you what say evolve with a certain state of the art problem. You solve or not solve, you are trying to solve some problems. You are on the edge of the human knowledge of particular problem. Then someone is solving, like for example, you started a PhD in machine learning in like 2020, and if you complete it by 2025, then it's not very novel, because people is working very speedily, and by 2023 and 24 it's very normalized research. But the process you evolved in the learning of the machine learning research and like applying it makes you a researcher who saw how this thing the world before the machine learning did the research or approached the research problem, and now what are the frontiers. So it should not look that your PhD is to solve any problem. If your PhD is contribution to yourself only, it's not a contribution sign. If you want to contribute, first learn and then contribute. So contribution is a big time, 20 year, 30 year. It's not, you can't judge in a 4 5 year, say that, oh, it's a training program. And also the structure of PhD, is my opinion, it's my personal opinion, it should be more on not what production based, it should be training based. How much we are training to our PhD students. Like in the IIT also, if we have more workshop, more training, more focus on training, then if we put more seeds in the land, then if we in future will get more crops or more output. So the focus in the PhD time is not the output, it should be more on training and giving and making people more empowered, thinking many different what communication skill, many other things are there. It should be more on the training phase, not in the production phase. This, if we consider this, then PhD is good. If you consider 5 year, you prepare yourself and contribute in the research, it's not gonna do, because if you are working in same problem and 20-year experienced researcher who is working before that, he will solve your problem in 1 year simply. So if you are thinking for idea and you are preparing a literature review, in the meantime if you search some same thing in Google, you will find that, oh, someone already wrote this paper. So yeah, these are the two.
Yeah, but I mean, from a student perspective, if someone starts something at that time,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're saying that you should not look it from
Look,
a contribution point of view. It should be thought of from a training perspective. But then, for a student who started something before, and when he tries to defend this, so by that time, will he be able to catch up with? Because this also takes a long time, like understanding things, and that to understanding things back then, understanding things now are also pretty different, right? So, is it because the training phase of this PhD phase is too long? I mean,
Yeah,
should it be
absolutely.
cut down or cut
Right.
short? Because is this 5 years training, considering the advancements in technology, is it worth it? Are we catching up with what is happening? I mean, outside our research. So that is a question which I found it difficult to answer. So.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you pointed a very nice, I think no one discussed it, that why,
Because I am
why-
I am discussing this because I have been attending lots of pre-synopsis of people, and I feel that there is lots of work.
Mhm.
But at times when I interact with the students who joined recently, like master students or students who joined recently, they are like pretty updated. For example, like they come with lots of soft skills. I mean, their communication is much better because they are Gen Z, and also I mean, Google Earth Pro, or lots of like state of art softwares. Like coding has become so easy. Like it's just you just ask ChatGPT and get it out. So they are pretty updated, and then we know that the students who are giving their defense, okay, they started this before, so that's why they are also not able to catch up with what is happening now. So there is actually a gap. So I
Mhm.
feel that this gap is very huge because I don't know. There are my friends in Europe who
Mhm.
did their PhD in 3 years.
Mhm.
Lots of people are there. I mean, now the world is like a global village,
Mhm.
right? So is it because of this time frame is too large? And students also, one more thing to be discussed is that students take a long time to understand what to do here. This
Mhm.
imposter is a long time here.
Mhm.
So maybe it's because of
Mhm.
that too. Like students spend
Yeah.
one and a half years on trying to understand what to do, but
Mhm.
students who are in the Europe or
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah,
in the
well-defined
global
problem.
west,
They have
they have
well-defined.
well-defined problems. So
Yeah, so it reminds me 2 3 points. First, you are telling that like first you started that why PhD is in contribution. Earlier we see that some novel work is there and people are citing there and people are discussing that this is certain professors or particular professors PhD work. So people think that okay, in the PhD this guy contributed that much, and this after 20 years still people are using some algorithms, anything you will find. Second thing, the idea of PhD's duration, 5 years, it is an historically came. It's not like that. It's not an updated like earlier when like Cambridge University earlier, the Newton and Einstein time, like it's Newton earlier time. Resources are constrained to the universities and library. So this PhD student have a specific topic what they want to explore and some library and their professor guide. Okay, and they evolve it. So the world was very slow. They don't have calculators. They don't have any like if some journal paper will publish it will take around 1 year to come from wherever it published to them if they want to access. And the conferences are very rare, like once in a year maybe or something, and very few people able to access. So it was very rare. That's why this year was 5 year. Maybe people take more than 5 years.
True.
So it says that people don't have. Now we have computers.
Now we have computers, yeah.
Now if someone asks for the review, whatever, some papers are taking 6 months, but they are not spending 6 months in our paper.
True.
It is the
It's a
lag,
process
it's a
that-
process
yeah.
which is taking. Maybe a reviewer is spending 20 to
So this brings to another question, because see, you consider all the other industries and the progress is happening in other industries. If you consider that, and then if you consider research, see, if this was controlled by maybe some of the efficient, industrial counterpart or some other agency, then this review would have been so fast. I mean,
Yeah.
things would
Yeah.
have got published very fast, and maybe updation also would have happened very fast. And this process of publication, this is taking a long time. Students completing their PhD is also taking a long time. So my question is like, is this an efficient system? I mean, system, or does the system need any updation? So that is what I mean. You have to compare with other industries. Like if you consider food industry,
So, yeah.
over the last 5 years, the type of food that we get here itself has changed. Like we get the Western food now, we get the European food now, right? The Japanese food is available here. So things are updating very fast, and
Yeah, so what cut short your, I will just summarize your in the PhD itself, and what open-ended question. What is PhD? It's an undefined problem. What is PhD? Why 5 years? First, one should, if you are someone is starting the program, one should know that why it is 5 years. What is the reason? Second thing, many professors or many academicians understand that this is undefined. They accept it, and they don't judge or give you that it's 5 years or 7 years or 2 years. If someone is attaining some kind of knowledge and now independent, that's why the making an students as an independent researcher. If the professor, the committee find that okay, it within 2-3 years you gain enough knowledge and you are now enough, like well updated, skilled, and confident in your field, then they give PhD in 3 years. In India, it's not that much, but it's all about the
I mean,
people.
it's very
but not
rare.
system. It's rare.
In
It's
India,
very
it's
rare.
very rare.
It's very rare. But the system, because they are not, system is bound, it's not bounding. But the 5-year system is very historical system. It lies in some historically where resources are very very constant. Like because 5 years is time, people are waiting for the time. People are
It's a
waiting
long time too. I
for
mean,
finding a journal paper. You have to go to volume indexes are there. 500 index like books are the volumes are there. You have to go through index finding one paper, then accessing. If someone is already taken this book, then you have to contact them and travel a lot. It was very different when they
True.
idolized that it should take at least 5 years. But now we have to rethink in this computer
Rethink,
era.
true, yeah.
That what is the requirement? Maybe other countries like Europe, Denmark, they come with well-defined problem, well-defined duration, well-defined money, everything is there. They just do research, solve it, learn it.
it's more of like a job there.
Job.
It's like
Why it is job?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because
Because
Uh.
it gives you the sense of contribution. Just
Yes,
at least you
true.
completed some project, and in the end of project you will get publication. Not it's a scientific contribution.
True,
But the project requires the project report.
yes,
Thesis.
it's more of like it's not like how you do your masters or undergrads. It's more of like, okay, you did something.
You did something.
You found
like
a
it's
solution. There was a problem.
Yeah,
You,
it's more or less
yeah.
a consultancy work. You can
True,
say.
true.
So it will give you a like sense of contribution. It will give you sense of completeness. So you complete. It's not compromise.
True.
Okay, and it will while joining you know that what you have to do, what skill you need to learn. Then you start learning what are the resources, what is the financial security, how much time it will take. Everyone's defined. If things are well defined, then your focus is more on your work.
True.
In your that's why that work-life balance is more. Even here we are not working, but we are more engaging. We spend morning to night in lab, not working. True, worrying about our things like where to go. So directionless, like 2-3 years, you also spend. Everyone has a similar experience. Very common experience in India. 2 to 3 years, people is directionless. After 1 year, whatever their work, this core work is I think complete. When this committee member decide let's wrap up.
So it's more of like ambiguous here, and it's not very systematic. how if you consider that with what is happening in maybe the developed countries. So I think at this point we'll also have start to think about rethink about redefining
Redefining
the,
what
the
is
curriculum maybe and considering
Professors at individual level already redefined who understand this. who
yeah,
analyze
some
this.
professors who understand this at individual level they have changed,
Yeah,
but
they have changed. They have certain training criteria
but
and
a change is only a change when the system
system.
tries to adapt to what is happening, right? So that might take some time, but having said this, it's hard time that we start
Yeah.
rethinking about.
We are in the
Okay.
like jungle of
I
resources.
don't think that this conversation will come to this point, but again,
yeah, so we are in the jungle of
Yeah.
resources. We have
because
everything but not the path.
because what I intended to say was just that there the way in which technology is advancing
The
and the pace at which research of a student, of a particular student, is catching up with the advancements in technology, and by the time he completes his degree, then things would have changed and his work is not no longer
Yeah,
I mean that novel anymore.
it,
So
it will create another big problem.
But that
the
came to-
unemployment of top, the hard work research. Like if you spend your 5 years, it's a core time of any human. That
It's a core time of a human,
human
like, yeah.
to do many things. And if you are dedicating it to research or doing PhD, then if you become if you are one day you are feel that you are unemployed, then what you will
then it's like
say-
if you spend 5 years on a lab, it's more of like you cut social interactions and you cut everything, and then after that, if you feel that your work is
why we are cutting
not
because
contributing.
we don't have any definition of PhD. That's why we have to spend more time. If you know that this is my problem, this is my thing. Okay, I will come on 9 o'clock. I will leave by 6 o'clock. It's okay. I don't need to work or to
True,
because we are not working. I just worry. Worry word is there. That's why we are cut off from the outside life. If we define work, then
Yeah, so that's. I think by this we can put an end to this casual discussion and start working.
Yeah.
Can you just help me with
Yeah, sure.